Joining me today, I have Lily Juhasz. And Lily is a senior at Rutgers. Welcome, Lily.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Today's topic is failure. One of those words that most of us experience in some way, but also mistakenly think that we are a failure if we fail, which is, of course, completely untrue. I know you're ready to share a time in your life where you experienced a failure. So please lay the groundwork for us. Tell us the story. What happened?
It was the summer going into my sophomore year of college. I was just transferring to Rutgers University all in that one summer ahead. I worked at a country club and I was a waitress server. And when I had split check situations or people wanted to have a separate check, I ended up unintentionally charging the dinner meal total to just one person's card each time there was a split check. And at country clubs, those split checks are pretty big. So I was unintentionally treating people to free meals by charging it just to one person. So big mistake, thousands of dollars worth of mistakes right there.
And a lot of people can understand making mathematical mistakes, and everyone knows split checks is a complicated situation. I myself carry cash when I go out with people for that very reason. But I think you're saying it was a lot of money involved in
Yeah.
this. And so what happened? I mean, what were the consequences for you with your manager? I mean, did you have conversations with them? What ended up happening after that?
Yeah, so I did get a big slap on the wrist, verbally and emotionally, but
Oh,
also I got
demotionally,
to,
so you got demoted is what you're saying.
yes,
Okay.
I got demoted to a position where I wouldn't be able to handle money or checks or anything in general. So I
And
was just, a banquet server.
you got banned from handling the cash.
Yes. And then I quit
And the
because I
cards.
just, yes. And I quit because I didn't want to be in that environment anymore. Too triggering.
And maybe do you feel in some way that it wasn't a good fit for you?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I give a lot of credits to waiters and servers because it's very hard to keep up with and just was not my thing, but I know I have talents in other places.
How did you experience that failure internally? Like, what was the messaging going on inside your mind at the time?
Yeah, it was interesting because every job that I saw, whether it's like a baggage handler when I was on vacation or just a server coming up to me or a janitor, every job that I saw, I would tell myself, see, Lily, you couldn't do that job because you're probably going to make a mistake.
Which is also something that happens to a lot of us. When we experience that, we become a little hypersensitive to those areas. But I think what we want to share today, and you can chime in if you agree with me, is that it's natural to have that response, to be a little bit overprotective in those situations afterwards. But what was the lesson for you? Because I know for me, when I've experienced failures and that fear starts to creep in, I have to make sure I talk myself out of that in order to live, in order to grow, in order to keep experiencing. So I'm curious, what is the lesson that you have for everyone that's listening now? What was the change for you? What was the lesson in that for you?
Absolutely. Failing does not make you a failure. Just because you may have screwed up one, two, three things, or for me, that'd be a lot of things in life. Obviously, you have to consider you've had many successes as well. So, uh, if you fail, it's okay. You are still worthy, you're still loved, and you're still going to make great change in the world. Big takeaway, failing does not make you a failure.
And I absolutely love that. So please remember, if you're listening to this, just because you failed in the past, it does not make you a failure. And something that I always take with me is that there is a lesson in every loss. So if you're a student of life, whatever stage you're in, wherever you are, whoever you are when you're listening to this, remember that you are not a failure, even if you've experienced failure in your life. And Lily, one last question for you. If you could go back in time and talk to your 18-year-old self, so this is the Lily before the server incident at the country club, what would you say, knowing you only have 15 seconds?
No matter what happens, you are still going to make great change in the world. we all fail in different ways with our friendships, with our families, with our relationships, with life, with work. We all make failures here and there, but you learn from it, you move on, you forgive yourself, make apologies where needed, and you just keep going. You got this.
Nicely. Very, very encouraging. And a reminder to all of us. So I appreciate your time. And this is senior year. So I want to remind you to enjoy it. This is your last semester, senior year. Like, take advantage, have a great time,
Yeah,
be the best you possibly can. And also, when you make mistakes, don't forget to take your own advice as well.
absolutely. Will do.